So students, in the previous video, we were talking about the third function of the RBI as a banker to the banks and the supervisor. So in that we had discussed all the functions of the bankers bank, and last was left only as a supervisor. I was just telling you we'll discuss about the non-performing assets and the merging of the different banks. Why are the banks merged, or what are the non-performing assets? All these we'll discuss later on. I'll upload one video on this separately. So right now we come on the topic from the book. Uh, the function was left as a supervisor to the commercial banks. As a supervisor, I just write it here, functions. Forgot. Yes, functions of RBI. Functions of RBI. This is continued from the previous video. As a supervisor, central bank regulates, controls the commercial banks. The regulations of banks may be related to their licensing. So as a supervisor, what functions are performed? I just write it. It may be licensing of the banks, licensing, and it may be branch expansion. You could see many branches are established by the different commercial banks. So this is also the function of the RBI to work as a supervisor to the commercial banks. Branch expansion, we could say this. In short, I'm writing it EXP, or it may be liquidity of the assets, liquidity of the assets, and it may be management, 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 and it may be the merging of the banks. As I have already told you, that we'll discuss it in the separate, in a video separately. Merging of the banks. Right now, we'll uh, discuss on a topic only, merging of the banks also. So as a supervisor, the RBI functions on the licensing of the commercial banks, their branch expansion, liquidity of the assets, management, and merging of the banks. Now we come on the next function. I'll write it number 4 now. Number 4. A most important function of the RBI, it works as a controller of money supply and the credit. How does RBI control the money supply or regulates the money supply into the economy? Keep one thing remember, every central bank of any country, okay, the main function of the central bank is never to earn the profit. What's the main function of the central bank of any country? Every time the central bank of the country is liable to maintain the balance into the economy. Basically, they have to maintain the balance. They cannot think about earning the profit. They have to maintain the balance into the economy. So this balance, the function of balancing into the economy, it is known as the controller of money supply and the credit into the economy. Now we'll see how does the RBI perform this function, and how does the RBI or the central bank maintains a balance into the economy by this function. For this, we'll discuss the methods of credit control. What are the different tools or methods by which RBI or the central bank can control the money supply into the economy. So we'll have to discuss the methods to control. What are these methods? These are different methods are available, different tools are available with that of the RBI. Point A. Number one is known as the repo rate. All of you might have heard of this repo rate. We receive the message even for the repo rate. Whenever the repo rate is increased or decreased, the customers of the commercial banks also receive the messages that the repo rate has been increased up to this much or has been reduced. Okay, we'll discuss now what is the repo rate and how does the how does the RBI control the money supply into the economy by the use of repo rate. It's a tool with that of the RBI. So first of all, we'll see what is the repo rate. Repo rate is the rate at which the central bank, we could say the central bank or the RBI. Here I'm writing RBI because we are talking in reference of a country, at which the RBI lends money to the commercial banks, to the commercial banks. But keep remember one thing here, repo rate to the commercial banks to meet their short-term needs, to meet their short-term needs. Okay. Whenever the RBI lends money to the commercial banks for the short-term needs, especially please keep this word short-term needs, only for the short-term needs. Repo rate, at the repo rate, the RBI lends money to the commercial banks to meet their short-term needs only. Clear? What does the RBI do in this? In this, RBI can do it may advances loans to the commercial banks, but against the approved securities and eligible bills of exchanges. Now here again we come on our example. As we had discussed, suppose you need a loan of rupees 1,000 rupees. Suppose 1,000 rupees you need a loan, and you are the commercial bank A. Okay, we say this is the bank A. For the short-term needs, this bank A needs the fund of rupees 1,000 only from the RBI. Now, if repo rate is about 20%, at the 20% of interest, 20% at the rate, 20% rate of interest, bank A needs a fund of rupees 1,000, but the repo rate is approx 20% at the rate of interest of 20%. It means when this bank A will return the money, when bank A will return the money to the RBI, it will have to return 1,200 rupees, 1,200 rupees to RBI. So Bank A feels that the repo rate is much more. Okay. And whenever this repo rate would be more, what would happen? The loan has become expensive for the commercial banks. They will not demand the loan from the RBI. So what would happen? They need this fund and they don't have with themselves because rate of interest is higher as per them, and they don't want to borrow from the RBI. It means they have the reduced funds with them. They don't have much of the funds available with themselves to lend to the general public. So what would happen? What they will do if this rate of interest would be more? Bank A, Bank A has to give back 1200 rupees to RBI, and Bank A, Bank A increases rate of interest, rate of interest for the public, for the public. Reason? Because he is also getting the fund at the increased rate of interest. So to fulfill its requirements of 1000, what did Bank A do? Bank A increased the rate of interest for the public, whatsoever the money public is borrowing from the commercial banks. So what would happen? If the rate of interest has been increased, then public will not borrow. Public will not borrow more. If public will not borrow more, then what would happen? It will discourage borrowers from taking the loans, and it reduces the ability of the commercial banks to create the credit. Got it? Obviously, it will discourage the borrowers from taking loans. And when the borrowers will be discouraged, what would happen? The money supply would be controlled. If it's in excess, then the money supply would be controlled into the economy. In the same way, if we see it reverse, suppose this is only 5%. This is only, we could say, 10% rate of interest. Then now Bank A has to uh, refund it back only 1100 rupees to RBI. So Bank A क्या करेगा? Bank A decreases. In short, I am writing this DEC, decreases rate of interest for the public. So what would happen? Public will start to borrow more. It will encourage the public, or it will encourage the borrowers to borrow more from the commercial banks. Consequently, what would happen? Money supply into the economy will increase. I hope you get. First, how does the repo rate controls the money supply into the economy? Now, next we come at the bank rate. Second tool available with that of the RBI to control the money supply is this is the bank rate. Point B. Bank rate. Here we had discussed repo rate is the rate at which the RBI lends money to the commercial banks to meet the, here I write, for short-term needs. For short-term needs. Okay. Here now we'll see the bank rate. What is the bank rate? This is also the same. This is same as repo rate is the rate, only the difference of this word, short-term needs. Bank rate is the rate at which the RBI lends money to the commercial banks for the long-term needs. At which, I'm writing it in short, at which RBI lends money to banks. Okay. Please read it. Commercial banks lends money to banks for long-term needs. Here is the difference only for long-term needs. Whenever the banks need the funds from the RBI for the long term, then at which rate of interest the loan is provided is known as the bank rate, not the repo rate. Please keep remember for long-term needs. I hope the things are clear. Bank rate also has the same effect as that of the repo rate. An increase in the bank rate increases the cost of borrowings from the central bank, which leads to increase in the lending rates by commercial banks. It discourages borrowers from taking loans, which reduces the ability of commercial banks to create credit. The same way as the repo rate controls the money supply, in the same way bank rate also controls the money supply into the economy. Third, we come open market operations. Here, one thing more keep remember. Here, the whatsoever the rate of interest would be applicable in the case of repo rate, it would always be the short-term rate of interest, and bank rate in the case of bank rate, it would always be the long-term rate of interest. Okay, the conditions may be different. Third function or third tool, third method, we can say. Point C, this is open market operations. Open market operations. What are the open market operations? This is, in short, we call this OMO. 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 Open market operations. So what are the open market operations? It is the buying and selling, buying and selling of the government securities, of the government, in short I'm writing GOVT, of the government securities by the central bank, by the RBI, I just write it here, by the RBI. It may be from and to, both. So I'll write it here, from oblique to the public and commercial banks, and COMM, short, and commercial banks. What happens? RBI is authorized to sell or purchase treasury bills and government securities. It doesn't matter whether the securities are bought or sold to the public or banks, because ultimately the amounts will be deposited in or transferred from the same bank. It doesn't make any difference for the RBI. Now here, keep one thing remember. If understand two conditions. In the case of sale, what would happen? And in the case of purchase, what would happen? Number one, suppose if securities are purchased by the central bank. Suppose first case हम देखते हैं इसमें, first number 1 case. This is the part of part C only. I write it here. Part C only. First condition, if purchase. Purchase who? RBI, central bank. Purchase. Purchase of the securities. Purchase of securities. What would happen if the RBI is purchasing the securities from the commercial banks? So please see, purchase. If we purchase any good, any service, what happens? We pay some money, we pay some fund to the person from whom we are purchasing. In the same way, if RBI purchases the securities from banks, here in short I am writing banks, and we mean by this commercial banks. Purchase of securities from banks result in more funds with the banks. More funds with the banks. Because RBI purchased the securities from them, and RBI paid some fund to them. So they received some funds with themselves. They received the money with themselves. So what would happen? It will increase the reserves and raise the bank's ability to give the credit. So result in more funds with the bank, and consequently what would happen? Raise the capacity of banks to give more credit, to public, Got it? So money supply would be more into the economy. Now next we come sale. If suppose second, sale of the securities. Sale of securities. Who will sell? Obviously RBI, the central bank. Sale of securities to commercial banks. So what would happen? Commercial banks' funds will go to the RBI now. Commercial bank will have to pay the amount, will have to pay money to the RBI. So the funds available with that of the commercial banks would be reduced. And if this fund will be reduced, what would happen? It will decrease the capacity of banks to give the credit to the public. And obviously the money supply into the economy would be reduced now. So in such a manner, RBI or the central bank can control the money supply and the credit into the economy. I hope the things are clear.